Thank you all again for being here. Again, my name is Maggie Winsler. I'm the founder of Every Woman is Worthy, and we are going to move quickly into discussing what Every Woman is Worthy is all about, why it matters, and how we are here to help your advocacy efforts to build a better world. So, Every Woman is Worthy is the name of our brand. It also makes a very loud statement to the world. I love that it means a little something different to every single person who encounters it. Everybody gets the general feeling of what this means, and also it connects to a really deeply personal story that each person has. And it's really the biggest honor to hear women come forward and thank us all the time for this work and tell us what it means to them. So just by being here and showing up, you are already contributing to this message and mission, reaching even more people, in addition to the work that you're about to go out and do uniquely on your own. So thank you. Our mission is to build a world where all women are valued. This is going to happen in a lot of different ways, including with the efforts that you are about to take on. The way that we build a better world where all women are valued through the Every Woman is Worthy team, mission, and shop is by first selling uplifting products. We have products with uplifting messages and symbols on them to reflect the world that we want to create with honoring women and people of diverse backgrounds. So we sell those uplifting products, and we also give back a substantial portion of each purchase to initiatives that help marginalized women and oppressed women in need. So for the first year, at the moment of filming this, we are about to turn 2 years old in a couple of months. In March, Women's History Month is when we launched. So March is when we're going to turn 2 years old soon. And in the first year, we donated 100% of the proceeds from our products to initiatives for reproductive dignity and safety. And in year two, we polled the community and we found that a lot of people really cared about women's global safety and domestic violence. Those were topics really high priority and on people's minds and hearts. So we are going to be donating 100% from year two to organizations and initiatives focused on those things. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a second. Moving forward from our first 2 years of launching, we are going to continue to donate generously with every single product that we sell. And that is going to be the bedrock of what we stand by, because we see every single day how corporations take advantage of people, largely corporations run by men. And we believe that we can go out as a brand, be competitive with them over time, and show people that it's possible to do business ethically, to hire diverse teams and put diversity as a foundational value. And we believe that we can continue to scale and create long-term impact while also creating incredible funding initiatives for nonprofits and organizations and initiatives that are typically underfunded. That is, in fact, why we didn't launch as a nonprofit, because we didn't want to go out and compete with those organizations that already struggle to get enough funding to operate. And those organizations are on the ground in diverse communities, knowing exactly what it is that people in those local communities need. They're the ones that know how to take care of the domestic violence survivor. They're the ones who know how to get resources to people in conflict areas. Okay, these are the people who are making enormous strides and progress for humanity and taking care of the most vulnerable. And we are here to try to help be like that rising tide that lifts all boats. Okay, that's what we're here to do. We're here to make their job easier and show people worldwide, hopefully over time, that it is possible to be in business and to do right by communities, to stay ethical, to promote a positive culture, common shared positive values of support and compassion and kindness and advocacy, and to do that on a broad scale. So that's the goal, is really impact. I have to think to myself, if corporations, large corporations that exist today, can go out and run a 30 or 60-day women's empowerment campaign and they can see measurable results from that, then shouldn't we be able to go out and do that 365 days of the year and see some amazing things happen and positive change in societies where we're active? So that's the goal, right? So the giving back from year one, like I said, we gave back funds for reproductive dignity and safety. We helped with women in crisis, pregnant mothers in Gaza through an organization called ANERA that was on the ground helping during everything happening over in Gaza. Very, as we all know, very upsetting circumstances, very traumatic, very emergent. And at the moment of filming this, that is still ongoing. A ceasefire has been called, but we still know that people need resources, people need help. People have been starving and malnourished. They need shelter. They need everything still. And ANERA is an amazing organization doing phenomenal work for the people in Gaza. We also donated to an organization in our founding state, Virginia, where our business is located out of, our office. We donated to an organization called Birth in Color that helps with Black maternal health care primarily and gets Black women and birthing people of color doulas so that they can have safe experiences and an advocate for them, because we know that Black women in America are 4 to 5 times more likely not to be believed when they are talking about their symptoms and trying to advocate for themselves to get the care that they need. They're not believed about their pain and the symptoms that they're experiencing. And that's a problem. Obviously, that is a huge problem. And Birth in Color is doing incredible work. I just was with them the other week for an advocacy day at the Virginia General House of Assembly, talking to legislators, talking to delegates, talking to senators about why maternal health care is so crucial and what we need to do to support these women better and make a safer space for them. So Birth in Color is doing amazing work. We also donated to period supplies. Period supplies make sure that people who are in period poverty have the menstrual products that they need. They're actually sort of run through the National Diaper Bank. And so the National Diaper Bank is who collects funds for period supplies so that menstrual products, in addition to diapering products, are available to people and families in need. Period poverty is a huge issue. A lot of people think that it's just an issue in far off nations, but it is in fact a huge issue here in America. And people lose a lot of time at work and time at school because they are staying at home due to a lack of access to menstrual products. There is a tampon tax still in place in many states where menstrual products are taxed, even though they should not be. So Period Supplies advocates for getting that tampon tax removed. For year two donations that we are about to make, we are going to be supporting an organization that helps women in Afghanistan. As we know, it's been over 1,000 days since women and girls over the age of 6th grade have had access to education in Afghanistan, and more rights are being stripped, it seems, every single month right now. So we are going to be helping women access virtual education, hopefully from Afghanistan. In the meantime, we are also going to be donating to an organization that is helping in a part of Sudan. Sudan is currently experiencing the largest displacement crisis in the world, and women are unfortunately being targeted by violence and sexual violence there, and some really devastating accounts of what women are going through there. And unfortunately, like basically nowhere in the world at the moment is really offering them asylum. There's no options for like refugees to get a visa to hardly any countries except for a few surrounding countries in Africa. And this is something that many world leaders and people just simply aren't talking about, which is mind-boggling. So we're going to be donating to help in Sudan for women in Sudan. And we're also going to be donating to an organization helping domestic violence survivors here in America. And we know that domestic violence survivors need economic empowerment in order to leave their situations of abuse in many cases so that they are able to stand on their own 2 feet. So that is a cause near and dear to my heart. I actually started advocating for domestic violence survivors all the way back in high school. I was involved with a group that went around and educated high school students about what sexual harassment versus assault was. So that is how we help people through giving back from the products in our shop. And we also have the last bit of our mission is a kindness saves lives initiative, where people can take a simple action and an intentional act of kindness rather than a random act of kindness and go out and do it for a woman. Maybe not even a woman in need, but just somebody that they loved. Putting kindness into action and being supportive of women in ways that are meaningful is really critical. So we have the Kindness Saves Lives mission on our website, and I think that it really matches in a way this advocacy course, because that is a simple one-off action in many cases, or something repeated that's maybe for a woman you know or love, with the intention of being generous and kind. And this is sort of a next level extension of that, because kindness is at the core of this, and saving lives, doing something to impact, is at the core of this. Just taking that intention up a notch with what you are trying to do, and the desire to see bigger change from that. So thank you again for being here. All of this work is incredibly important. We are, like I said, about 2 years old, a little under 2 years old at the moment of filming this. We started as a small little startup before I was even really ready to begin. I was thinking that we would get started after maybe 2 years after my last child, my third child, my daughter, was born. And then things just kind of got going a lot sooner. So I was thinking that we really would only have started a few months ago, but instead it's been almost 2 years. And from an idea that started in my bathroom, that I'll tell you more about later, from an idea that started in my bathroom to now, we have reached almost 20 million people and have sold products to all four corners of America in diverse urban and rural neighborhoods. We have become a federally registered trademark here in America, and in our online digital communities like Instagram and Facebook and Threads and all of that, we have approximately 80,000 people at the moment. And anytime I've got Instagram here, anytime I pull up Instagram, let me see. Anytime I pull up Instagram these days, it keeps growing. Refresh the feed, 65.3K people in the Every Woman is Worthy Instagram community to 65.4. We're growing so fast, and it's really incredible to see people. Not because of the follower count. The vain stuff doesn't matter to us. It's about the impact of how this can reach people, and what this means on a deep level to people. In our community, we actually have 40% of the Instagram community from international regions. In fact, recently I noticed a lot of women coming into the community from Nigeria specifically, and that was a really interesting moment for me to take a second and learn more about some of the reasons why this message might resonate with women in Nigeria. In fact, I found out that Nigeria has one of the highest maternal mortality rates in the entire world, with women having a 1 in 22 chance of dying from childbirth, pregnancy, or postpartum complications. So I don't know if that's the exact reason why women are paying attention from there, but it always sits with me how different women's experiences are depending on where they're from, how they're raised, what their background is, their belief systems, if they fit into sort of a marginalized community or not, or even if they have been oppressed or been the target of gender discrimination or violence of any kind. These are things that we sit with as a small team and think about all the time, and keep at the center of our mission, and how we try to expand this and live it out in the choices we make, both in little pieces of content on Instagram, simple things like that, to how we are trying to build out this business concept to do the most good for the most people possible. We continue to be excited about how many people come to the community from literally dozens and dozens of countries worldwide. And it's really beautiful to see how this message and mission is becoming a force of its own because of the people coming together and caring about seeing things change. So thank you for being one of those people. And a reminder as we close out this video and move on to the next module, a quick reminder that you can use your coupon, Advocates20. You can use that on our website. And I'm going to share with you what is one of the brand new product designs that we are so excited to release with our new logo. So this is our new logo. This is one of the first products designed with it. It's white on white hat. I think it looks pretty awesome if you ask me. Subtle, minimalistic, love it. We're finding that women are excited to engage with the brand, and some people are going to be slogan apparel wearers and some people want something more minimalistic. And what's great about this is that it's a symbol that doesn't need words written in English for people to see and understand. And I actually designed this and went a little bit insane while I was designing it over this most recent Thanksgiving break. I was up in Ohio with my husband's family, and he kept telling me to let it go, go to bed. And I spent multiple nights in a row working on this and trying to get it right, trying to figure out a way to build the meaning of Every Woman is Worthy into a simple design that would encapsulate it. And it took me a while, but here it is finally. I started with one design, and a good girlfriend told me, Maggie, that looks like a woman who's spread eagle. And then after she said that, I couldn't unsee it. So we scrapped that design. That was not going to work for obvious reasons. Hilarious story. And now here we've got this. So we have all of our slogan wear, but this is going to be really what symbolizes the brand without any words. And what it is, bear with me. You can see the two. This is hard to do on a camera. Here we go. The two X's that are lined up side by side. So the double X for female. I tried the female symbol that resulted in the spread eagled woman. So moving on from her, moving on from the female symbol that looks like the circle with like kind of the cross out of the bottom of it. Moving on from that, this was another symbol for women with the double X. So put that in there to start. Layered on top of it an upside down A. Okay, an upside down A, which is the universal symbol in math for all or every. So we've got women for all or every. And then when you combined those two, it kind of made this convenient little W at the top for worthy. And then because that didn't look like a comprehensive, cohesive design, doing this little 3/4 of a circle down here, connected it all to make this more comprehensive look that is not focused on the double X, because at Every Woman is Worthy, we believe you should look at the whole person, not their chromosomes, not their gender. We believe that you should look at somebody for who they are and honor their inherent worth. So this symbol stands on its own beyond gender, and we hope that people of any gender feel comfortable wearing it, and hope to challenge men to maybe embrace a little bit more of supporting women and a little bit of their femininity by including it on some designs for men in the future too. And it also is a symbol, as I'm talking about all of this, I hope people understand, it's a symbol that any type of gender discrimination is something that we work against. We believe that violence, gender-based violence of any kind is tragic and something that the world should seek to combat with more powerful forces of compassion and love, and sitting with people who are different from you, sitting with them and trying to understand them and treating them like a full human. So this is our symbol, and it also looks a little bit like a crown, a little bit kind of from here up. It looks a little bit like a crown, so you can read into that what you want. And then lastly, it looks To me, it looks a bit like a lotus flower, which I wasn't planning, but it looks a little bit like a lotus flower. And I love that because a lotus flower has to rise out of the mud every single day to bloom. And that is really telling of what the marginalized experience is for women. Marginalized women and people have to push against obstacles in order to bloom and thrive and show who they are unapologetically. And I think a lot of women can relate to that no matter who you are or what you've been through. I think women can relate to having to push against obstacles in order to thrive. So, and this is an ongoing process, and that is why we're here. That's why you're here is to help make the mud a little less difficult, maybe even to clear it away so that people can thrive and live and be honored. So, thanks for engaging with us. I hope you like the new logo. Thanks for listening to me blab on about it, but I'm so excited. I just can't wait to see more people wearing it. So thank you guys and see you in the next module. Bye.